is here with us from Kolkata to talk about his investing style and the way they are approaching markets. Abhishek, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. How's your portfolio composition looking like right now? Areas where you're overweight on. Talk to us about how you're approaching in your main portfolio.
Thanks, Ajay. Good afternoon to you. I think the first and most important thing is if you look at the markets over the last few years, just like you absolutely said right now, there has been a healthy correction going on for the last few days in the mid and small cap space, whereas the large cap space seems to be holding up reasonably well. And from a portfolio positioning perspective, I've been personally bullish on a couple of spaces. One obviously has been the chemicals and the pharma API, that agrochem, that entire space. Add to that real estate and real estate ancillaries, if I may call them that. So the tiles, the paints, the entire spectrum, even the housing finance companies, for that matter, would come into that space. And then you have engineering, construction, infra-led area. That is the other area which is sort of interesting to me. So broadly, these are the areas. Pharma, of course, has I've been I've been liking pharma for a while, and I think pharma is going to continue to do well over the next few years.
Mm-hmm. Abhishek, one would also tend to agree that stories in the market where there is much more clarity on earnings, where the quality of management is good, people are crowding out that space, even at the expense of stretching the valuations there, because bulk of them feel comfortable there. Talk to us, because you are a deep dive investor, you look at areas in early stages. Talk to us about areas which you may have found, which are early stages right now, consensus and crowd hasn't reached there, even to the extent it may not start performing in a medium term, but actually provide highest margin of safety right now.
So I think, again, you are right in the sense that there is a lot of money chasing a few areas where there is consensus or there is growth visibility in the near term. So that is something which is very, very evident. And not only in India, we are seeing that globally. Now, the way I would like to think is I'm trying to create a longer term, broader framework for myself. And what I see around is there are 4 pillars to this framework. And when I say these 4 pillars, let me just walk you through them. So the first I see is a China plus one theme. Now, when I talk about China plus one, it is not only that manufacturing shifts from China to other countries, but it is also that the entire global supply chain is sort of getting reoriented. And with that, you will find a lot of downstream impact. It will change how labor force participation happens in countries. It's going to change how individual countries pick up different sectors or focus on different industries. And you also are going to see, and we've already started seeing this, that there is this, anti-China sentiment in the Western world, which is developing. So that is also going to drive this China plus one theme for probably the next decade or more. So that's one pillar. The second one that I see is there is going to be a lot of change in the business strategies driven by climate change. And it is going to happen because of the regulatory interventions that are going to happen. We've already seen this play out in sectors like chemicals, where environmental clearances are getting more and more difficult. We've seen this play out in China, where entire high polluting industries have been sort of shut down overnight. And these are going to be, issues going forward over the next, many years. The third thing is the concept of digital and tech intervention. Now, when I talk about digital and tech, it's not just purely talking about using technology. And we are seeing that. We've seen a Zomato IPO happen. We are seeing a car trade IPO right now happening. So these are all digital intermediaries that are coming to the market. There will be many more that are there in the pipeline. So other than that, also you will find that a lot more of technology based uh, strategies are coming up in even traditional businesses. Real estate getting sold online, uh, luxury cars getting sold online. So these are things that are going to happen, and more in the in the future, in the longer run. In addition to that, you will find that a lot more of technology adoption happening at the individual corporate level. Okay, another dimension of technology will be uh, and will be the EV space, the hydrogen fuel, the aluminum fuel, renewables, and all of that. And this is again probably going to get sort of clubbed with the climate change pillar that we talked about. The fourth and last pillar that I see is a health and wellness based drive. Now, having been through a pandemic for the last 2 years, or roughly last 2 years, what we are going to see is that because of human, psychological biases, vividness, and recency effect, you will see a lot more of uh, investment at the individual level and at the corporate and business level on health and wellness. Now, whether it is pharma, whether it is hospitals, whether it is telemedicine, e-health records, you name it, there is going to be investment, online pharmacies, there is going to be investment and usage adoption across the entire spectrum. So if I look at it from a very holistic level, these are the four broad pillars that I see, and every business is going to get impacted in one way or the other in each of these pillars. Now, if you look at businesses where there is a long drawn time period, which may not be very relevant or which may not be in fancy right now, could be something as mundane as waste management company, or somebody who's doing e-waste, so somebody who's doing renewables, maybe a good old power distributor who's trying to convert into a large renewables play. So these might take years to play out, but there is a definite space for people to make money over a long period of time. Now, if you look at the strategies of the different corporates, the larger companies, they are actually trying to fit in their businesses into one of these four categories, if you think about it. So I was seeing yesterday that the Tatas are trying to get into manufacturing of semiconductors and things like that. So again, it's the digital backbone. So one of those themes. So increasingly, I will want to look at businesses which are either getting benefited from one or more of these four pillars or four themes over the next few years.
Right. All right, Abhishek, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts on the areas you are researching very closely to find the next set of winners from the stock market.